Hello, everyone. My name is Ann Babson. I want to thank Megan Burns for starting this online poetry reading. Um, her initiative gave me the idea of creating a short film of my poem that I've just written about the times in which we live, called Haggadah, Folio, the 10 Plagues. A bit of explanation. I'll try to be brief. That's me. You don't see me throughout the rest of this short film. But hi. Um, I'm working on a fourth collection called The Bunker Book. I started writing it before we were all socially distancing to prevent a plague. But I've been writing in an exploration of medieval manuscripts, among other things in the book. And medieval authors were not concerned about walls between genres of work, and they regularly practiced writing back to old text, something that postmodern writers do all the time. And they didn't necessarily follow linear logic. They believed, not because they had rejected modernism, but because they hadn't invented it yet, any notions of objective truth. All truth was to some degree subjective. And so were they like us at all, I wonder, about these medieval authors? And I've allowed myself to explore this in the works that I have dealt with here. I've made this film in part because in medieval texts, images evoked as much meaning as words most of the time, as you can see by just the example of this one palimpsest, where you can see how it would simply evoke more with its drawings necessarily than its lack. Here then is Haggadah Folio, the 10 Plagues. Haggadah, for those of you who don't know, is the book that people read at the Passover dinner among Jews. There were Jews in Europe during the Middle Ages. Many of them lived in Alhambra, Spain, as court figures for one of the most advanced civilizations up until about the 1700s. Haggadah Folio, the 10 Plagues. I can't read Hebrew on this Alhambra parchment, but the numbers are Arabic next to each illumination. How could this medieval Moorish master depict 1100 years ago the plagues that we survive? Picta mirabilia. 1. The plague of indifference. A man wreathed by a pink feather boa poses facing a mirror. Behind him, a woman bearing a cup collapses. 2. The plague of frogs. This one appears straight out of Exodus until you see that the camel covered in gold leaf is really a flatbed truck. 3. The plague of herpes. I know! At first those red spots look like gnats, but the mountain where they hop and bite is no Sierra. Look at the peak. 4. The plague of breakup. The man crouches, his head between ruddy fists. He isn't crying. His expression remains impassive in his martyrdom. 5. The pestilence of livestock. The woman in front of that mirror turned away, faces backwards, and frowning, she grabs her buttocks, weighing melons. 6. The plague of boils. This illumination, identical to the third one, demonstrates one cannot escape one's past, not even with a bomb. 7. The plague of AIDS. It's supposed to be a plague of thunder, but this illumination streams sunlight through a window on a withered young man. 8. The Plague of Towers. A woman covered in dust crouches in a market square. She looks like a gray, hornless gargoyle. At her feet lies a black briefcase. 9. Darkness for 3 days. The illustrator ran out of pigments. No vermilion, no terre verte. It appears an ashy Amazon, melted icebergs. 10. Death of Firstborn. The artist must have been smoking hashish. He only drew the map of a vacant strip mall with a red dot marked, "You are here." Thank you very much for your attention. Remember to wash your hands.